Chapter 51. There are four kinds of food in the world. Once, when the Buddha lived in the Garden of Solitude in the Gion Grove of the Acropolis, one day the Buddha said to his monks, disciples, there are four kinds of food for the survival of people or beings in the world. The first is a material food that can fill the stomach, either coarse or fine. The second is the ability to recognize, judge, and distinguish whether things exist or not in the outside world, which is called food awareness. The third is that the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and inner contact with external things produce cognition and feelings, such as the eyes see things, the ears hear sounds, the nose smells the smell, the tongue tastes, the body touches things, the mind after contacting external things, and these contact with external things have cognition and feelings, which is called touching. The fourth type is the spiritual thoughts that arise in the heart, the wishes that are expected to be fulfilled, and so on, which is called meaning food. Disciples, these four foods allow people or beings in the world to survive. Disciples, what are the prerequisites for these four foods to be produced? How do they come together? How are they formed? What are their roots? Of these four foods, craving is the prerequisite for their production, craving makes them gather, craving makes them appear, and craving is their root. Disciples, what are the prerequisites for greed to arise? How does craving come together? How is craving formed? What is the root of craving? Feelings are the prerequisite for the production of craving, feelings make craving gather, feelings make craving form appear, and feelings are the root of craving. Disciples, what are the prerequisites for feelings to be met? How do feelings come together? How are feelings formed? What is the root of the feeling? Contact with external things is the precondition for feeling to arise. Contact with external things makes all kinds of feelings gather. Contact with external things makes various feelings form and appear. Contact with external things is the root of feelings. Contact with external things produces cognition, referred to as touch. Disciples, what are the prerequisites for touch to be met? How do touches come together? How is touch formed? What is the root of the touch? The places that contact external things and thoughts, such as eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and heart, which are the six places that contact external things and thoughts, are the prerequisites for touch. The eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and heart, which are in contact with the outside world, are referred to as the six places. Note that the six places are only places where they touch external things and thoughts, that is, the six places where things and thoughts are only in contact with the outside world are not yet in contact. 6 places allow the touch to gather, 6 places allow the touch formation to appear, and 6 places are the source of the touch. Disciples, what are the prerequisites for the 6 places to be produced? How did the 6 places come together? How are the 6 places formed? What are the roots of the 6? Material things and spiritual thoughts are the prerequisites for the emergence of the 6 places. Spiritual thoughts are referred to as name, material things are referred to as color. This color also includes the material body. Material and spiritual are collectively called name color. Famous colors bring together 6 places, famous colors make 6 places form and appear, and famous colors are the root of the 6 places. Disciples, what are the prerequisites for fame to be produced? How do celebrities come together? How is fame formed? What is the root of fame? The understanding, distinction, and judgment of external things and thoughts are the prerequisites for the emergence of fame. The understanding, distinction, and judgment of external things and thoughts are referred to as knowledge. Knowledge makes the name color gather, knowledge makes the name color form and appear, and knowledge is the root of the famous color. Disciples, what are the prerequisites for knowledge to be produced? How does knowledge come together? How is knowledge formed? What is the root of knowledge? Physical behavior, spoken words, thoughts arise in the heart. Actions, speech, and thoughts are the prerequisites for the emergence of knowledge, and physical actions, speaking words, and thoughts arise in the heart are referred to as action. Doing gives way to knowledge gathers, and practice gives way to the formation of knowledge, and action is the root of knowledge. Disciples, what are the prerequisites for the line to be produced? How do rows come together? How are rows formed? What is the root of the line? They do not understand that people or beings in the world are very painful, do not understand that the root of suffering is craving, do not understand that only by first eliminating craving can we eliminate suffering, do not understand that the way to eliminate suffering is to practice the Noble Eightfold Path, and do not understand that the Four Noble Truths of the way of suffering and annihilation are called ignorance as mentioned earlier. Confusion is the precondition for the emergence of action, confusion gives way to the gathering of action, confusion gives way to the formation of action, and confusion is the root cause of action. Disciples, this is the method of dependent origin. People or sentient beings in the world who follow the law of dependent origin will continue to suffer and sink in the cycle of life and death, suffering and suffering. That is, action is produced with ignorance as the precondition, knowledge is produced with action as the precondition, name is produced with knowledge as the precondition, 6 places are produced with famous color as the precondition, and touch is produced with 6 places as the precondition, receive is produced as a prerequisite, love is produced with receive as a precondition, take is produced with love as a precondition, have is produced with taking as a precondition, and birth is produced with have as a precondition, so that having birth will produce sorrow, sadness, distress, worry, despair, aging, and death. Disciples, this is the process by which the sufferings and troubles of people or beings in the world gather. And disciples, people or sentient beings in the world can be freed from the troubles and sufferings of the cycle of life and death according to the retrograde trend of the law of dependent origin, that is, ignorance is destroyed without giving rise to action, action is destroyed without knowledge, knowledge is destroyed without giving birth to name, famous color is destroyed without giving birth to 6 places, 6 is destroyed without touch, touch is destroyed without feeling, receive is destroyed without giving birth to love, and love is destroyed without taking, take does not give birth to have and perishes, have does not give birth to birth and perishes, birth does not give rise to sorrow, sadness, distress, worry, despair, aging, death and perishes. Disciples, this is the process by which the suffering and troubles of people or beings in the world are eliminated. After the Buddha's teachings, the monks who listened to the teachings once again paid homage to the Buddha and admired the immeasurable merits of the Buddha's teachings, and they all practiced according to the Buddha's teachings.